Worldwide leader in entertainment. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Hi there.
The Supla.
The Supla.
TNA.
Come on. Come on.
What?
You're not going to do the intro?
Go. Go.
I never do the intro.
You did it last week. What do you? No,
I did it because I needed to introduce you.
Don't start this again. You did it last week. Why would I do it this week?
How many times have I started the show? Just think, right? How many times have I done the intro?
When Andy was here, none. But Andy isn't here, so this last week you did it. Why would you not do it this week,
Because
Liam?
I was introducing you. People now know who you are, so it's back to normal where whoever isn't me does the intro.
Did you at least? All right. Should someone do it now?
We're on the air. You may as well do it now.
Hello, wrestling fans.
Fuck's
Welcome
sake,
to the Supla.
Christ.
My name is Carmine Antonelli, and with me this week is Liam Dunn.
Right.
Happy?
You are on your don't take that tone with me. You are on your last straw. Seriously, right?
I can't hear you. Skype is messing up.
Well, that's not my fault. You should get better Skype.
Did Skype get the news this week?
Well, I didn't.
Are you serious?
Why would I get the news?
Liam.
Carmine.
Hello?
Are you trolling? Are you actually trolling me this week?
No, I'm not trolling you. Did you get the news?
No! Why? I've never got the news.
Did you learn nothing from last week?
Since... Oh my god, I can't believe we're... Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologise for the start of this show. It seems my new co-host hasn't understood how the show's run, besides, you know, the fact that he listens to it.
The old co-host should have done this.
I don't do... Look, I said last week I do not do the news, and I don't want to exactly start this week off with an argument, okay? It's very unprofessional, Carmine.
Happy, joy.
Don't...
No one's arguing.
Are you trolling? Are you trolling?
No,
Are you trolling?
No, I'm not trolling.
Right. Anyway, let's just look over that fact that you fucked that entire introduction up. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was all my fault.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad you agree. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Fault.
I'm glad you
Totally
agree.
My fault as the newbie co-host to not get the news. My bad, everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, let's at least you agree
Shut
with
up.
that. I'm sorry. What?
What? I didn't say that.
Bet your fucking ass you didn't say that. Right. Anyway, moving on.
Off to WrestlingTruth.com I go.
Anyway, can you Americans just stop fucking trying to take over everything for once and just let the fucking Brits actually do what we're supposed to, and that's actually, you know, being, you know, oh shit.
Oh, what was that? Hello?
You broke my microphone as well. What are you... Oh, fucking Americans. Christ. Anyway,
I
right.
didn't do anything.
Anyway, we've been on the air for about nearly 5 minutes, and we haven't even done the show. Right. Hello, wrestling fans. Liam, Carmine. I want to start this week off with a joke. I was going to do it so much better, but because you fucked the introduction up, Carmine, I've got to do it this way now.
Is the joke that you actually do have the news and you're trolling me?
What? No, I'm not talking about the news. You better get the news now while I tell our listeners this joke.
I'm getting the news now.
Yeah, you
I'm
better.
getting the news now.
Yeah, do it.
Someone
right.
should have had it beforehand, though.
Yeah, I agree. You should have had it beforehand. But look, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Anyway, got a joke for everybody. It's a great joke. I thought of it, right? How many McMahons does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many, Liam?
None. Light bulb screwed light bulb. You see? You laughed.
Okay. That was actually pretty good.
You see? There you go. There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, I would ask how you are, but
On some
I don't
news,
care.
Liam.
Right, let's go on with the news.
Bruno Sammartino leaked his Hall of Fame induction. After years of trying to persuade the wrestling legend, Bruno Sammartino has finally accepted WWE's offer to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
English language defeated you. Because you're American and you don't know how to speak English.
And Trish Stratus, WWE's PG direction, and Triple H, who have paid personal visits to Bruno, were the main catalyst for him accepting the invitation.
Hey.
Sammartino, who was announced on last week's Raw, let the news slip to ESPN journalist John Robinson. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame at Madison Square Garden is the biggest thing in my life, says the longest reigning WWE, then WWF champion of all time. So he leaked it himself.
Well, much deserved. I mean, you know, Punk was going on about how his 430-something day reign as WWE champion was amazing. I mean, this man had a 4,000-day reign as the then WWF champion. But then again, I mean, you have to look at it from a different perspective. Back in the 60s and 70s, pro wrestling was very different to what it is now. It was treated with a lot more respect. It was treated... They were a lot more careful with letting people know that it was all scripted. I mean, many people still thought it was a legitimate sport back then. So... the whole idea, it's very much like, you know, you look at UFC nowadays and, you know, you have people who are the UFC champion for years, like months, years, whereas in WWE the title changes every, like, well, it hasn't with the WWE title, but, you know, sometimes titles change every month. I remember back in 2002 when they did the Undisputed Championship, I think the title changed every pay-per-view.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
Like, you know, so... It's a lot different back then. You know, people were a bit more... Their attention spans weren't so short and things like that. So that's why I think he had a long reign. I don't think a 4,000-day reign would work in today's world, really. I think people would get quite sick of somebody having the championship for that long. I mean, I saw people complaining about Punk's really long reign as WWE champion, like, oh, he's had it for over a year, let someone else have it now. And it's just like, personally, I really liked Punk's reign because it was
it was a nice change of pace.
Yeah, it was nice to see someone actually hold the title as opposed to it changing every fucking pay-per-view. Like before Punk became the champion. Yeah, before Punk became the champion, Alberto Del Rio cashed in his Money in the Bank at SummerSlam 2011. And then, I think at Hell in a Cell, one pay-per-view later, it changed.
It was
hands.
Night of Champions.
Oh, okay.
Cena
Night
won.
of Champions, Cena won. And then, I think Vengeance happened. Or
No,
something
then it
like
was
that.
Hell in a Cell.
You know what I mean, though? It was like, it changed once a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, and I just like the fact that they actually, if it was me, I think anybody who listened to the show in December knows what my plan would have been, and I would have had Punk hold the belt until WrestleMania, where he would have dropped it to Cena in a triple threat match against himself, The Rock, and Cena. Which, ironically, actually, now that I mention that, there is a bit of news, because Carmine, because he's incompetent, forgot to write down this bit of news, in that last week I talked about how CM Punk doesn't really have any plans at the moment for WrestleMania, because his original plan was to go up against Undertaker, but now it doesn't seem like Undertaker's going to be at WrestleMania. Punk doesn't have a backup. Well, he did, but I think it was Ryback, but now Ryback's gone to Jericho. Anyway, long story short, there's actually consideration backstage that they're going to put Punk into the match against Cena and Rock.
It'll make that match a hell of a lot better.
I said this 3 months ago. I think someone listens to this show is stealing my ideas, and as far as I'm concerned, I fucking booked this main event of WrestleMania. If that goes ahead, I booked it. I called it, and I've got archive proof that I said that.
That would make sense. If someone listens to the show and steals your idea, that would also make sense why there's no longer an intro to Raw anymore.
Exactly. I said, why the fuck is there an intro to Raw?
Anyway, Should we continue this Sammartino story or move on?
Do you have anything you want to say? Because
I mean,
it's interesting because you came into wrestling in about 2011, 2010, wasn't it?
Early 2000, like right before WrestleMania.
Right
27.
before. Yeah, so 2011. So you came into pro wrestling as a fan, just basically when The Rock came back, essentially.
Yeah.
And I find that interesting, actually, because sorry about this Bruno Sammartino storyline. I know a lot of people probably don't give a shit, but fuck it. What was your thoughts when you first came across wrestling? Like, in terms of an actual avid fan?
I mean, I didn't know what to expect, so any small kind of... anything that could be considered a swerve blew my mind, and then I slowly started to realize how things work, and I'm like, you know what, looking back, that was pretty bad. And so now it's like, I'm so numb to anything that they try to do, and I'm now starting to see just how bad it really is. I'm physically ill today. Professional wrestling has made me physically ill. It's that bad.
There you go.
So, I mean, first walking into it, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Now it's like, this is stupid.
So you came in as a fan when The Rock sort of returned. What was your thoughts?
I saw Cena rap against The Rock and all that.
Did you
crap.
understand that, though? Did you get why people were going nuts at the fact that he came out rapping? Did you get that when you first saw it?
No, but at the same time, I think I knew a little bit that he used to do a rapping thing. I just didn't know other people liked it, and so when people went nuts for him, I was like, what?
No, that's what originally got him over, and then he went into this sort of like,
Yeah.
like, you know, and people just didn't give a shit anymore. But no, I find that quite interesting. That's strange.
Yeah.
Did you ever think though, Carmine? Did you ever think when you got into pro wrestling about 2 years ago? Did you ever actually think you would be sat here talking about pro wrestling in the reign of The Rock as the WWE champion?
Hell no. When I first got into it and like realized this is how the way things are, I thought Cena was going to be champion forever, and that was not a good thing.
No.
And so this is better, but I did not expect this to be happening.
Well, there you go. Well, you know, I think we've said enough about The Rock. I think we've gone over it. Look, he's a great guy. I don't know him personally, but I've heard from people. I've actually got a friend who worked with him on the new Fast and Furious film, and he was like his assistant on it. And apparently Dwayne's a very nice guy in real life. That's great. But if you're gonna have the fucking championship, Dwayne, be there every week.
Champion's got to be on Raw.
Champion's got to be on Raw. You know, like how co-hosts got to make the news.
Or how, you know, someone's got to do the intro for the new guy because he doesn't know how things work quite yet.
Well, that's not my fault. Anyway, Bruno Sammartino, well done to you on the Hall of Fame that doesn't actually have a building yet. All you get is a ring.
It's a good class this year, the Hall of Fame.
Well, apparently this year's class is going to be bigger than usual. That's what she said.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, but apparently there was an interview with Bruno Sammartino. I forgot what website, so I don't remember. So I do apologise. But apparently he got paid to be in the Hall of Fame, right? Which isn't very common. It's not very often that people get paid to be in the Hall of Fame. Usually they sign like a Legends deal or whatever. And that means they're sort of an ambassador for the WWE, and they might do an occasional appearance or an autograph signing, etc. You know, that fan access stuff. They might go to that. But Bruno Sammartino, he was actually paid for WrestleMania. They didn't release the sum that he was paid by WWE, but they said it was the equivalent of a top star getting a WrestleMania payoff bonus, basically. That's how much money he got. So he got the equivalent. The money he got was sort of like the equivalent of what The Rock will get for WrestleMania.
That's very good money.
And that, to me, says, like, that is how much they wanted him in that Hall of Fame. And I think a lot of people might be like, some of the people who were listening might not understand exactly why Bruno Sammartino has been very anti-WWE at the moment. In fact, anti-wrestling. He's admitted he hasn't watched wrestling in years. And the reason why was because of the IWC's fucking beloved Attitude Era. And I'll tell you why, because the Attitude Era was full of swearing and nudity, and if you like that sort of shit, that's great. There's pornography now, but, you know, go with that. But he didn't like it. Do I think wrestling should be aimed at kids? No, but I think there's that middle ground that you can get everybody, and it can still be entertaining. You don't need to shove a character like John Cena down our throats, you know. But anyway, I'm going way off topic here. But
well, I mean, that just goes to show, like, whether it's PG or not, someone isn't gonna be happy.
Yeah, you can't make everybody happy. Like, for example, when Andy left, the amount of people that went on Twitter, on YouTube, and was like, "Oh, this show sucks now," and it's like, it's not well, it is Carmine's fault because he's not very good. But just
it's not anybody's fault.
Well, you should get the news.
How about you quit pointing fingers, Liam?
You can't see me. How do you know if I'm pointing fingers?
Because that's just what you would do.
Well, you don't know me. You're not my real dad. Well,
you're the guy who would flip a lighter to become co-host of the year. I don't know if
that was Keelan. That was Keelan.
You were advocating it.
Yeah, let's talk about something that happened over a year ago, Carmine. Yeah. Right.
Anyway, speaking of things that no one's happy about, Dixie Carter has announced Jeff Hardy's new contract. TNA president Dixie Carter's big announcement on Spike TV's Bellator last night was that she re-signed Jeff Hardy. Whoop-de-doo. I just signed to a long-term deal, said Carter. He's sticking around Impact Wrestling for a long time. So that's a thing.
Well done for Jeff Hardy and his shitty little Divas Championship and his shitty little face paint, his shitty little drugs, and his shitty little I don't give a shit.
It's so, like, him and Matt Hardy were, like, blackmailing, like, oh, we're going to go back to WWE. And then WWE put Jeff in the alumni section, and it's like, tra-la-la, I'm back.
Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Like, the thing is, it's all well and good, and I actually, now that you mentioned what you just said about the Bellator thing on TNA, there's one thing that still I just don't get, and this to me just, I can't take TNA seriously when they're just constantly, every like fucking 15 minutes, they're like, don't forget to watch Bellator after TNA Impact. It's like, is it me, or has TNA just become a big advertisement for Bellator now?
Yeah, it's like Bellator is their XFL. It's like, we're partnered with a real sport. Go watch that too.
Yeah, it's just like, we're the scripted stuff. You want to see the real stuff? Hang about and wait. We'll be finished soon. Like,
I promise it's almost over.
Don't worry. Just bury your head in the sand. We'll call you when it's ready, okay? Don't worry about it. Like, why? You don't see WWE doing that. They might say, yeah, we've got a show on after Raw. Like, I don't know what any of your shitty American shows are. Like, I don't know, fucking Honey Boo Boo Child.
That's USA Network.
Yeah, like,
you'll never hear Michael Cole like, stick around and watch Psych after this.
Yeah, every 15 minutes. You don't see just above the USA Network logo, Honey Boo Boo Child on in an hour. Like, you don't see that shit. Because to me, it just says, like, to me, what it says is that Spike doesn't give a shit about TNA. They see TNA as just an advertisement for Bellator, which is no doubt bigger than TNA.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this is it goes back to just everything that TNA's doing. And I know everybody's like, yeah, TNA's product has become better recently. I don't care. If they're still in the Impact Zone, and I know they're leaving soon, but for fuck's sake, it's taken 10 years. Like, I can't take this company seriously. And when you've got the Aces and Eights, and their newest member is Garrett Bischoff...
Are you serious?
I don't give a... Like, this is the thing, like... Okay, I want to just say, right? This idea of heel commentators, that's fine. Michael Cole took it to a new level 2 years ago to the point where he got fucking annoying, where he was like, I'm going to have a match, and despite the fact that I hate this guy, I'm going to sit next to him every week, and all that sort of stuff. But
in a box.
In a box! In a fucking box! Right? But Taz being the voices of Aces and Eights, just doesn't... Like, apparently, the reason why is because Aces and Eights needed a strong talker. So they gave them Taz, the commentator. The man who goes, "Let the pigeons loose." Yeah, that's a fucking good idea, isn't it?
That's a strong talker.
Yeah, that's a strong talker. Every time he sees Velvet Sky, he talks about birds.
Jeez.
Let's give him to
talker.
Aces and Eights. I mean, for fuck's sake. And I just don't get Aces and Eights. Like, they're trying to build them up as this legitimate tag team. You've got Garrett Bischoff.
Every week there's some new stupid person getting added to this group, and it's getting to the point where pretty soon TNA will be Aces and Eights.
It seems like Aces and Eights, they're trying to make Aces and Eights the new NWO.
Why? Why do people want a new NWO?
And this is the thing. This is looking back at history, right, guys? NWO may have worked really well to the point where it beat WWF Raw in the ratings. I get that. But this is the thing. People got fed up of the NWO after a while because it got so many fucking members and it got storylines that just got shit where the NWO was feuding with the NWO and then the NWO splintered off into the NWO fucking Wolfpack where it became the red and black NWO. So you had the black and white NWO against the black and red NWO on WCW/NWO. And it's just like, what the fuck? And now... Right? So people got bored of that shit. TNA's kind of doing the same, but the thing is, TNA, when they're stuck in that shitty little shed, it doesn't... Say what you want about WCW, but at least they were in fucking arenas. And I know people are like, oh, TNA's going on the road. TNA's going on the road. Have you seen their lockdown pay-per-view? They've got 1/8 of the fucking arena. 1/8!
That's not an improvement.
That's not an arena. I'm sorry, that is not a fucking sellout show. That is not a pay-per-view. That isn't even a house show. That Ring of Honor could do that. Ring of Honor could do that.
Yeah, it's just getting to the point now where it's like they think they're such a big deal because they're doing these crazy rebellious stories and they're going on the road, but it's not working. It's not good. They're just messing it up.
It's
TNA's found a way to mess it up.
It's pointless, and it's just like they seem to... And it's like Glenn said on the chat, you know, TNA's been doing this damn NWO storyline over and over the past 5 years. It doesn't work anymore. Main Event Mafia, Immortal, and now Aces and Eights. And it's true, like... You know, I know a lot of people liked the Nexus, but it was kind of... Nexus was kind of NWO-ish, in a way. You know,
yeah,
and
then now the Shield's like a smaller Nexus.
Yeah, and the thing is, it works, though, because I just really like the Shield. They're not, although they are heels, I kind of see where they're coming from. I can actually relate to them, as opposed to just going, oh, we're renegades, we're just going to do this for the fun of it. I can see where they're coming from. I understand their motivation. It's a different motivation to what we had with NWO. NWO was done because Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were like, we're the outsiders, we're going to invade. The Shield never thought of invading. Okay, they are like a smaller end of Nexus, but it's not about invasion. It's not. It's about giving justice. And I think I know you want to get them over as heels, but to me it would make more sense if they attacked heels and faces. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking a bit too logical about that. But like when they attack The Rock, their motivation is sort of like, you know, you've been away for this long. How have you this is justice. You've taken limelight away from younger guys. I get that because it's fucking true in a way.
The Shield is basically the embodiment of the IWC.
It is, yeah, and I like that.
Yeah, I mean it works, but it's like you said, they have a motivation that you can get behind, whether you like them or not.
You can understand
With the Nexus, maybe it's because I was never around to see the Nexus, but why were they so angry? What was the Nexus's motivation?
Well, the Nexus is, as far as I'm aware, to be honest, if I'm going to be honest here, I kind of stopped watching wrestling at this point because my university internet connection was so shit I couldn't find it anywhere online, and I didn't have a television to watch it legally either. But essentially, from what I've gathered from research, which you should probably do, Carmine, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, that you should...
Maybe you should just go on with the story.
Well, maybe you should just shut up. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that the idea was that because it was all from NXT, they did their first season, and back then, Carmine, NXT was a competition.
No, yeah, I know that, and like the first season was actually like pretty good.
Yeah, the first season was really, really good, as from what I've been told. Anyway, this is from what Andy, who's no longer with us because he's not dead, but you know what I mean. He told me like it was really good, and the idea was that it was a competition and people got eliminated and things like that, and eventually Wade Barrett won, and I think the prize then was just a contract with WWE, but the motivation behind it was that Wade Barrett and the rest of the guys from NXT Season 1 banded together and was like, we all want a contract. So then they invaded. Right. It kind of makes sense. I see where they're coming from again, but I don't really understand why Wade Barrett... To me, that doesn't seem like something Wade Barrett would do. Wade Barrett is very... I've always thought Wade Barrett is this sort of character where he's like, you know, I'm looking out for myself. So I don't understand why he banded everyone together to try and get a contract. But, you know, it gave...
One major thing I didn't like about the Nexus was once they lost, they just split up into the new Nexus and the core, and those were just stupid.
Again, NWO-ish, don't you think? You had the core, which is 3 members of the Nexus, and Ezekiel Jackson for some fucking reason, because they couldn't put him in a storyline. So they gave him to the core. And then they feuded with the new fucking hell, wow. Freudian slip.
The new New World Order.
The new World Order. They feuded with the new Nexus, which was led by Punk, because he also didn't have a storyline at the time, because this was before he took off and became really big. And that is very NWO-ish. You know, I like the Shield. I understand the motivation. But this Aces and Eights, I don't understand what they're trying to do. Now, maybe it's because I don't watch... Self-admittedly, I don't watch Impact that much. I find the product so dull, so brain-numbingly stupid, that I can't even physically put myself in front of the television to watch anymore. Right?
No, I don't either.
I don't understand what they're doing. Like, are they just trying to terrorize Hulk Hogan? Are they just trying to terrorize TNA? Do they want to fuck Brooke? What are they doing?
Their motivation is beyond me. I have no idea what they want.
It's Luke Gallows holding Brooke Hogan going, look at your daddy now! Look at your daddy now while your fucking boobs pop out. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care about Hulk Hogan. Why do I give a shit about him being beaten up? What?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Frankly, and I know like people are like, oh, he's an old man. You know, they're beating up an old man. If he's an old man, he shouldn't be in the fucking ring. What's he doing there?
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing there?
It's a wrestling wedding.
And at the end of the day, yeah, right. Can I just say, right? Look, I know this has happened a long time ago, right? But my pet peeve, the one thing I hate in pro wrestling, the one fucking thing I can't stand, it pisses me the fuck off constantly. These wrestling fucking weddings, like for fuck's sake, you know something's going to happen. Have we ever seen a wrestling wedding that's gone through fucking normally besides probably Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth? Since the fucking 80s? Since the fucking 80s! Like, oh, just fucking stop this. Just stop. Like, the whole TNA one, the TNA one fucking, it pisses me off the most because Bubba Ray was fucking suspended. What the fuck? Like,
it makes no sense.
Like, could you imagine working in, like, I don't know, a fucking supermarket like Walmart, and you get suspended and barred from the fucking shop, and you're like, I just need to top up my credit on my phone. Yeah, come right. Like, what the fuck? You don't. What? Why?
Yeah.
This is what I mean. When I say I don't watch TNA, this is the reason. This is the reason why I hate this company so much. This is the reason why I self-admittedly do not watch this product. Because this doesn't make sense. You have a wrestling wedding. That entire fucking angle is overplayed so much on television. We've seen a fucking wrestling wedding last year with the 1000th Raw episode. It never goes right. You'd have thought logically, right? No one would have a wrestling wedding anymore.
No one's that stupid.
It's just so overplayed. It didn't make sense. Bully Ray was suspended. Why is Hulk Hogan still even in this industry? Fucking retire. Just go away. I'm sorry. I know there's so many Hulk Hogan fans out there, but just fuck off. Fuck off, Hulk Hogan. You are taking up television time that I don't care about. You can barely walk. You're flabby. You're old. You're not good on the mic. You're inconsistent. You're incoherent. And I want you off the fucking television. Go away.
That was a very strong reaction, Liam. Speaking of reaction, that was the worst segue ever. TNA President Dixie Carter announced on Twitter the other day that the TNA Reaction series will be returning as a web show. Reaction originally aired on Spike in 2010, wow, as a post show for Impact.
I don't give a shit.
Dixie wrote on Twitter, happy to announce that Reaction will be returning mid-February as an online series on YouTube. More details coming soon to our website.
Don't give a shit.
What is that? What is Reaction?
Reaction's shit. It's a piece of shit. It's literally... TNA Reaction is me going to the toilet after I watch the show and having a massive shit. That's my reaction to TNA. That's what it is. It's just me having a shit.
Oh, that sounds like a very plausible...
It'd be more fucking entertaining as well. It'd be more fucking entertaining.
Probably, to be honest. I have no idea what this even is.
It's something to do with behind the scenes. And you know, like backstage fallout. It's kind of like that. But they keep it in storyline as well. So, yeah, it's like a longer version of Backstage Fallout on WWE's YouTube channel. Which, by the way...
Yes?
We've probably mentioned this, I can't remember, because I have a memory like a sieve, self-admittedly. But there's been talks that the WWE Network is now going to become the WWE YouTube channel. They're going to integrate the network programs into YouTube. And this is because YouTube are experimenting with a subscription service, which now means that in order to watch some YouTube channels, you have to pay a monthly subscription fee. And that's
not going to go well at all.
No, not in the slightest. Like, seriously, like there's so many issues with YouTube at the moment. There really is. Like, I don't know if anyone's heard of this website called keepvid.com. Have you heard of it?
No.
Keepvid.com is a website where you can copy a YouTube URL and paste it into their website, and then you can download the video. Anybody who watches the YouTube version of the Supla, you'll know that's what I do. I get other people's YouTube videos and copy and paste them, download them, and put them in the show. I don't need to give credit because I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I don't give a fuck about the copyright system. It's all fucking, like... This is a whole nother conversation. But essentially, the idea is that you can basically download any YouTube video. You can download this show if you're listening to it on YouTube. You can download this show now through KeepVid. And this subscription service will not stop that. You can put, I don't know, extreme rules on your YouTube channel for a subscription. But people will be able to download it, put it on a BitTorrent website, and bang, there you go. One person has paid for that pay-per-view, and hundreds of people have seen it.
Yeah, it's just a stupid idea.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I think, like, self-admittedly, we don't get Hulu over here. But Hulu is a subscription service, yeah?
Yeah.
You see, that I don't think would work in Britain.
It barely works here.
Exactly. We have things called like BBC iPlayer, where we get to watch all the BBC channels for free on demand, and that's free. Well, self-admittedly, that's a bit biased because we have to pay for a television license, so we should get BBC iPlayer for free. But things like, we've got Channel 4, we've got ITV, and they all have their online ITV Channel 4 players and things like that, where you can watch all their shows online for free. So, this idea that you do this subscription service, I just don't think would work.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, it's paying for things online never works. People always find a way around it.
Yeah, this is a problem with the internet. It's so easy to pirate stuff. It really is. You can just easily pirate anything you want, essentially. Like, I mean, you can get fucking Nintendo DS emulators and play any Nintendo DS game, basically. Like, No one cares.
No one. It's normal to do that.
Exactly. So, I don't think... I certainly wouldn't pay for a YouTube subscription service. Because it's fucking... It's YouTube. Not PayTube. Not fucking Corporation Tube. It's YouTube. Or sorry, as you Americans say, YouTube. YouTube. Because you guys can't pronounce anything. Like maths.
YouTube?
Maths. It's
YouTube?
got an
Where have
X.
you ever heard YouTube?
Where have I ever heard
what accent
YouTube?
that would be.
That's the American accent. That's what you sound like.
It's YouTube.
Exactly. That's what I said.
You went YouTube.
That's the same thing. It sounds the same. It's American. YouTube.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, moving on to the next news. When
You know what America? You know what America
What?
reminds me of? You know what America reminds me of?
what?
It reminds America is John Cena.
Stop right there.
It
I
really
don't
is.
even wanna
It's
know.
this world power that everyone's fed up with and just won't go away. Let someone else have a chance.
Go away.
And you know what? It's like America is John Cena and CM Punk is China, and it's just like, for fuck's sake, just move over. Let China be the world power now. You've had your day. Well done. We had our day. We gave it away to you. We knew when to back down, when to let someone else take over. But you guys, you are like the world police, and you're just like, I'm gonna bomb everything. And it's just like,
So then is England Hulk Hogan?
why would we be Hulk Hogan? We know when not.
You're still sticking around after, and you've been around way longer.
Yeah, that's actually, amazingly, you're the first American to actually admit we have a history. Because as far as I'm concerned, every American I've come across is like, the world's only 200 years old. The world was born when America was born. Yeah. Now where's my sister / wife? Like that's what America is.
Oh, Jesus. TNA's wrestling lease on the Impact Zone at Universal Studios in Orlando expires on March 31st. So they don't have to fork over for a new deal. The company is taping 6 of the one-night-only pay-per-views in March. Because they're all themed and don't tie in with current storylines, it doesn't necessarily matter when they choose to air them. There's pay-per-views that won't tie into storylines?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I don't give a shit.
Why are there pay-per-views that don't tie into storylines?
Why do I care about buying it? Guess what? I don't.
Why would anyone... What? There's pay-per-views that are just standalone, like, here's some matches. What is that?
Here's a couple of matches that you have to pay for. Like, what?
They don't mean anything. But
Yeah,
there you
it doesn't.
go.
It means
What is
fuck
that?
all. It means fuck all. But you have to pay for it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
We're going to continue our storylines on free television, but these matches that don't matter, you have to pay for. What?
I'm not going to build any of them because TV and these were filmed long ago, but what? Why would anyone want to see these pay-per-views?
That's like the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's the dumbest. Like, I can't get over how dumb that actually is. Like,
That's a new level.
that's the reverse model of what you have to do. Like, you're giving away your storylines for free, your payoffs for free, but the matches that nobody cares about, the matches that have no build, have no real conclusion, you have to pay for. Ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to award the Darwin Award to TNA because they are going to fucking go extinct soon. What the fuck? What?
I don't even know what to say about that.
And it's just as Glenn says, TNA really is the epitome of retarded. It really, I mean, what? In what universe does that model even make sense? I don't get it.
I'd love to hear Dixie's explanation for that.
Yeah,
What's going through anyone's mind when they came up with that?
I'd love to have been in that board meeting with Dixie Carter and just hear him go, guys, I have an idea. What we're gonna do, we're gonna give our storylines away for free on television, but the matches that nobody cares about, has no build, and will have no conclusion or impact on any other. Do you see what I did there? Pun. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. The storylines will not be in the pay-per-view, but people have to pay for it. What? I mean, did people just go, fucking yes, that fucking sounds like a fucking great idea? I don't know why he sounds like he's a fucking retard from England, but, you know, like, I just don't get it.
So, okay. The meeting probably... Alright, guys, our lease in Universal Studios is going to expire soon. So, we don't want to pay for a new deal just to do some pay-per-views, so we're going to film a bunch of them before we have to leave, and then we'll just air them in whatever order we want, because none of it matters.
And they have to pay for it.
6 pay-per-views that don't matter.
When TNA said that they were going to do these pay-per-views that were smaller and cheaper, I was like, that's brilliant. That makes so much sense. Do these one-night stands, these one-night-onlys, pay-per-views. That makes sense. That is genius. Well done, TNA. We've been saying this for months. We've been saying it for years. This is what the industry needs to survive. Well done. Yeah, these pay-per-views aren't going to have any impact on our storylines. Well, then who gives a fuck? I don't care.
It's just undone.
You have undone everything you've been working for.
Oh my god. So with that said, this next bit of news actually kind of makes some sense because Hulk Hogan challenged Dixie Carter to take the promotion to the next level in a recent interview with the Daily Star. It's either hold 'em or fold 'em. Probably that's an Aces and Eights reference. You're either in the wrestling business or not, says the Hulkster. Is Dixie Carter really in the wrestling business, or is this just a hobby? You either make the move or you don't. You're at that point now, the same place we were with WCW. You either run with the big dogs or be a little dog and stay on the porch. Does he actually think they're a big dog?
Can I just remind everybody what happened in 2010? I think it was 2010. Was it? Yeah, 2010. TNA, Hulk Hogan goes, we're moving to live on Monday nights, brother. We're going to move to... Yeah, guess what fucking happened? They lasted 3 months and had to go back to Thursdays because their ratings were so low, they couldn't survive.
Yeah, they can't run with the big dogs.
They can't run with the big... And it's all well and good Hulk Hogan saying this. Like, what is it? 10 years after TNA started to a newspaper? Why didn't somebody say this when the company fucking started? Like, if we're going to do this, we need to actually treat this fucking seriously. We need to write storylines that are good. We have the talent. I'm not saying you don't have the talent, TNA. You fucking do have the talent. By all means, utilize it, right? But it's your storylines, your business practice. This pay-per-view thing we were just talking about. The fuck? I mean, seriously? So you've got that. You're stuck in Universal Studios. I love Universal Studios. By all means, I love Universal Studios. But I don't stay there. People do not pay to go and see TNA in Universal Studios. They pay for the ticket into the theme park. Any seats that are empty, they let people into it for free. So you're not even making money off that.
Yeah, with that being said, like, they're stuck in a shack in a theme park. Like, the big dogs, little dogs on the porch thing. Ring of Honor is the little dog on the porch. TNA is the dog sitting in the windowsill yapping about, come over here, we got Jeff Hardy, I swear it's good. And then, you walk in the door, it's like, hey, it's Jeff Hardy. Bite you in the ass because you're stupid for walking into TNA.
That's actually There's a very good analogy for once. You've actually impressed me for once, Carmine. Like...
Anyway, freaking, like, TNA, the next line says, the destiny of this company is in her hands. It can stay TNA, a powerful little company, or she can make the decision to move on to greatness. You're not a powerful company!
You're not. No, you're not. Like, just because you have Jeff Hardy does not mean you're a powerful company. Like, they just need to just... Look, I'm not a businessman, so I don't know how they can survive, but I'm pretty sure being stuck in Universal Studios, having these pay-per-views that you're asking people to pay for that really have no impact upon the overall storyline, thus having no reason to exist, no one cares. If the title... It's quite evident that even if championships are on the line in these pay-per-views, the champion's going to... Actually, no, I take that back. It's quite obvious champions aren't even going to be on the pay-per-view because they don't know if that person's still going to be champion when that pay-per-view fucking airs. Like, what? the fuck? Oh,
Like, I could imagine they have a title match with Jeff Hardy, and then by the time it airs, Jeff's not the champion anymore. I could imagine the build up for that pay-per-view being, make sure to tune in to Blood and Gore because we're gonna go back in time and see what would have happened. It's like
my brain hurts. My brain actually hurts.
My
brain actually hurts.
Hulk Hogan also discussed the company's move to 4 main pay-per-views. To limit to 4 main pay-per-views will give us a chance to make the wrestlers more important and give the fans the chance to choose who they love. I think it gives you a chance to sink your teeth into the characters and the company. That's true, but on top of all the other stupid ideas you're coming up with, that's not going to do anything.
Oh my god, I just remembered. You know what we've been completely missing out in this whole TNA news week?
What?
Did you not hear about the gut check controversy?
Oh gosh, gut check is controversial? I never guessed.
Basically, for those who don't know the story, gut check has been the whole idea of gut check has ended. They've stopped it. They've suspended the entire idea. They've suspended the competition. The reason why was because TNA said you can only vote once. You can vote for one wrestler once online. What they didn't do, or somebody at fucking TNAWrestling.com didn't do, was actually put that into practice. Meaning fans could vote for whoever they wanted, how many times they wanted.
Oh no. Why are you so stupid?
Essentially meaning that wasn't a legitimate competition. Meaning that many wrestlers wanted out of that competition, wanted their names taken out of it because they realised it wasn't fair.
Oh my god.
Talk about fucking yourself over, TNA. Wow. You go to this much length, and you fucking fucked it up like that.
How do you screw up a voting system?
I find that hilarious. I find it genuinely hilarious. So, Glenn Fielding says an old friend of ours is actually ahead in round 2 of this thing, which is Quan Chang. This is because Quan Chang's probably been voting for himself God knows how many times. I'm going to vote for myself constantly. Like, that's probably how he's got so far ahead, Glenn, because I don't know anyone who would fucking vote for him.
I could just imagine him sitting at his computer, rapidly clicking on the mouse, like, I'll show those marks, I'll show them all.
I'll show the marks, I'll go into TNA, yeah! Like, oh my god. And now he won't even get it, so, because the entire competition's been scrapped. So, good. Well done! Well done, TNA, and well done, Quan Chang, for fucking yourself over.
Oh boy.
They probably just looked, it's all from this guy who's voting for Quan Chang, it's all from the same IP address. That IP address goes back to Quan Chang.
Oh no!
Yeah, so
should we fix it?
No, we'll just suspend the entire thing. And it's like JJP whatever. I don't know what the fuck your name is. Get a fucking real name. Yeah, get a real name, you cunt. With the WWE,
smooth.
With WWE, the system is scripted for a reason. I wouldn't say it's scripted, but they purposely sway the audience's opinions. Like, I don't know if you remember with Taboo Tuesday.
I don't know about that. Hold on. It might be, some polls are probably scripted, because I remember in the Slammies, I tried to vote for something, and I clicked on it, and it legitimately just clicked the complete opposite thing. It clicked something else for me.
Maybe.
So some of them are probably.
Well, I just remember, like, I remember that it was a Kane and Snitsky match, and they were really pushing for this Kane and Snitsky match to be, I think it was a lead pipe match or something. So, like, a lead pipe was a legal legal item. But, and like, they were really pushing that, but the fans voted for a steel chain, or it might be the other way round. But I don't know if it's scripted, but I think it is purposely tried to. I think they do try and push certain ones ahead. Like, this is the thing. Like, you look at some of the Raw Active stuff, and it's like, do you want to see CM Punk go up against Brodus Clay, Tenzai, or John Cena? Okay, most people would probably not vote for John Cena, but you know what I mean? It's like they purposely push they always put two shit guys, two mid-carders, and then like a main eventer.
Yeah, it's... Other than the Orton, Mysterio, and Jericho one, they're pretty much all...
Yeah, that one self-admittedly could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And I think they realised that.
For a minute it was going to be Orton.
Yeah. Although I would have voted Jericho. I was hoping Jericho. Because I mean...
I was definitely...
I think the thing is as well is that, like, the Jericho-Punk match from last year's WrestleMania got such a good reaction in terms of the internet wrestling community, not actually fucking Miami. They were shit among them. They were dead. They were fucking dead. They did not give a shit. They were just like, where's The Rock? Where's John Cena? Like... But the internet...
they had just sat through that freaking Hell in a Cell match, so they're like, oh my god, there's more.
Oh my god. Like, oh my god, we got to cheer throughout this entire Hell in a Cell match that really nothing is happening in. Yeah. Dave Meltzer's like, yeah, 5 out of 5, nothing's happening. Like, you know. So, like,
Shawn Michaels,
Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, 5 out of 5 automatically. It's like, nothing's happening, Dave. Like, anyway, I'm going off topic. But, it got such a good reaction. And, I mean, you watched that match back, and it was like, fucking hell, that was a pay-per-view quality match.
It was a WrestleMania quality match.
Exactly.
Really good.
And I think they probably might have realised that, which is why they put Jericho in there. But I don't know, it could have gone either way at the end of the day. But I definitely think, whether I think it's scripted, I don't know. I think they lead the audience more to certain decisions. Because it's like sometimes you'll see on the matches, you can either have a no disqualification. No, this is it. I think this was it, right? This was a legitimate one. You could either have a hardcore match, a Falls Count Anywhere match, or a no disqualification match. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's like
there's like a street fight, Falls Count Anywhere, or no hold barred.
That's it. It's like that's the same thing. That's the same thing. What are we voting for? You may as well say your vote is for either a street fight, or a street fight. It's like, oh, I wonder what's going to win this one. I wonder what kind of match we're getting tonight then. Like, whoa, man, the fucking fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, the whole Raw active thing, treat everyone like an idiot, because they had this video on Raw.
Oh
my
God!
Cole's sitting there like an infomercial, and you can see his stupid fat hands like messing with his phone. Like, this is how you download the app, and this is how you open the app, and this is how you vote on the app. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like, let's spend 5 minutes on Raw teaching our fans how to do the app, despite the fact we've had Raw active for over a year now. I mean, seriously, was there just some redneck in Texas with a fucking iPhone going, I don't know how to vote! I'm pressing the button!
How do I open the app?
I'm pressing the button, but it's not voting for me! I want the team friendship, not team hell no! Like, what the fuck? And yeah, as Glenn says...
CM Punk's even said, like, not everyone has a smartphone.
I don't have a smartphone. I do not have a smartphone. Why? Like, brilliant, thanks WWE. Yeah, Raw's going interactive as long as you have a smartphone. If you don't, fuck off. Like, brilliant. Way to fucking really, you know, alienate half your fans.
Yeah, it's like
think about it.
They allowed you to vote on WWE.com, but only because the voting on the devices crashed.
If your product is marketed to kids, how many kids have a fucking iPhone?
Oh my God, I never even thought of that.
What the fuck?
Jeez.
Oh, this hurts my head.
I guess we should move on to the next story.
I think we've got about 5 minutes.
Okay, we have 3 to pick from. WWE bullying TNA out of arenas, The Rock staying after WrestleMania, or Amazing Red possibly going to WWE.
Don't give a shit about either. There you go.
All right, so
TNA
those
bullying
things are happening.
Yeah, TNA bullying arenas, or TNA. Smart.
TNA's getting bullied out of arenas.
It's a smart but very dickish move.
Yeah, like he's like, hey, you're finally on the road. Get out of here.
You're finally on the road. Buck everything out. It's like they've just trolled. I kind of want someone to make a meme of Vince McMahon's face just going, TNA going on the road, buck every arena. Like, just this really big troll face. Because that's brilliant.
Like they're trying to run him out of the country. It's like, oh, we can't go back to the Impact Zone, but everything else is booked. Where do we go?
They'll probably come back over here, to be honest.
We're gonna have a show in Dixie's backyard.
Well, you know, Dixie's backyard. I think many a men would like to see that. Ayo! Anyway.
No.
Anyway, The Rock staying after WrestleMania.
It's not surprising. I mean, look at the position he's in.
True. Oh, speaking of WrestleMania, have you seen what the official name of WrestleMania 30 is going to be?
No.
The official WrestleMania 30 name is going to be WrestleMania XXX.
Are they retarded?
I swear to God.
Oh, God.
WrestleMania XXX.
If every match isn't a Divas match, I'll be so upset.
I mean, I knew China had got into porn, but I didn't know they got a sequel involved. You know,
that's ridiculous.
Like this sounds like a really bad pornography.
Oh my God! I think you and Andy a few months ago were talking about like a new show, like Friday Night Spank Bank or whatever.
Friday Night Wang Bang.
This could be the start.
This is the start of Friday Night Wang Bang, WrestleMania XXX.
What? Are they stupid?
This is honestly like the chat's just blown up saying, Jade, fucking whatever your name is. I thought this was PG.
Really?
You know this, and Glenn saying bring back China next year. China would actually thrive in a WrestleMania pornography environment. I've not seen her porn film, Queen of the Ring, but I can imagine WrestleMania XXX being the higher budget, bigger budget, better effects sequel.
My entire world has been flipped upside down. There's actually going to be a freaking porno labeled WrestleMania.
It's honestly, WrestleMania 30 is WrestleMania XXX.
That's so... I don't even know what to say to that.
What? I'm sorry, has WWE's marketing team gone, guys, maybe we don't want to call it WrestleMania XXX? Just, you know, just because of the pornography.
No one saw the label and was like, you know what? This kind of reminds me of porn. No one.
Like, I know, our products... We've got Bruno Sammartino in our Hall of Fame because he's finally seen that we're a family-friendly company. So let's call our next WrestleMania XXX. WrestleMania pornography. Brilliant.
Look,
that is
WrestleMania XXX.
That is TNA level of intelligence. That is like that. I can't believe they've gone with that.
Oh my God, that is the greatest thing ever.
That is TNA level.
I could just imagine from Royal Rumble on that big WrestleMania sign XXX every week. And people are pointing to it like that's where I'm going.
John Cena pointing at WrestleMania XXX. Oh my God.
Now I want to see it. Now I want to see that happen.
That's going to be the best WrestleMania ever. I'm sorry. That is going to be... I'm buying that WrestleMania just for the name alone. Or maybe not.
Starts pointing at the exploding pyro WrestleMania XXX sign.
I'm wondering. I'm just wondering if you watch WrestleMania XXX in a hotel room, will it come up with a different name on the bill?
Will there be like an adult block on it?
Yeah. I mean,
child block.
How is this going to work? Anyway, we probably should end this.
Oh, that's a great way to end it.
That is a great way to end it, right? Just on WrestleMania porn. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I have been your 2011 and 2012 co-host of the year, Liam Dunn, because Carmine didn't properly introduce me, because he didn't do the introduction, because apparently it's not his job, despite the fact that he's now a co-host.
You can just move on with the exiting.
Anyway, is there anything else?
If we're just going to do that, I got something to plug. The WWE 13 Universe Mode Let's Play on the Super Show channel.
Yes, I forgot to say, Carmine is doing a WrestleMania thingy-majig. Not WrestleMania, what am I saying? You're doing WrestleMania porn. Carmine's doing it. He's going to be the main event against John Cena.
Shut up.
Anyway, you're doing a Universe Mode, I believe. And you want people to get involved and all that snaz and stuff, like, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
My name is Liam Dunn. I'm your 2011 and 2012 co-host of the year, and I will see you next week. Notice how you didn't get a goodbye, Carmine, because you're shit. Just saying.
Shut up. Goodbye, everybody.
Can't talk during the exit.